We begin with that collision over Washington, D.C. between a commercial airliner and a U.S. Army helicopter that left 67 people dead. Today, the National Transportation Safety Board laid out a detailed timeline into what possibly went wrong since the midair crash. CBS's senior transportation correspondent Chris Van Cleve has been following this story from the beginning and joins us from Los Angeles. Chris, tell us the new details we're learning.
Yeah, John, two things really jump out here. One, it appears the NTSB is trying to determine now if the helicopter itself was giving the pilots bad data about things like the altitude at which they were flying, and that's obviously critical in going into this crash. Take a listen to the NTSB Chair Jennifer Homendy here.
The pilot flying indicated they were at 300 feet. The instructor pilot indicated they were at 400 feet. Neither pilot made a comment discussing an altitude discrepancy. At this time, we don't know why there was a discrepancy between the two.
And that goes along with some of the data they've taken out of the black box, that helicopter they have found to be invalid, incorrect. So they don't know if it was recorded improperly or if the helicopter was giving bad info to the pilots. The other thing that really stands out here, John, is two critical air traffic control communications. Two messages to the pilots of the Black Hawk appear to have not fully been received by the helicopter. One of them was when they were telling the helicopter that the plane was circling to another runway, and then just 17 seconds before disaster, where they gave them instructions on what to do with the plane to pass behind it. Some of that message didn't get there either. Take a listen.
CVR data from the Black Hawk indicated that the portion of the transmission that stated "pass behind the" may not have been received by the Black Hawk crew.
Chris, there's also a reporting, or there was also, we learned night vision goggles were being worn on the Black Hawk?
Yeah, so the NTSB wants to figure out how that may have impacted the pilot's ability to see what was going on. In fact, they plan to do a site study with night vision goggles, with a recreation of that cockpit, to try to get an understanding of what the limitations may have been, because they say there are no indications on the Black Hawk black box that those pilots ever saw the airplane that they flew right into.